Hey guys, it's another video. I'm back, you're back. Hello, if you're new. So this week's video is gonna be on the BBC drama Sitting in Limbo. So this only came out at the beginning of June, I believe, and it's a standalone single episode, but it's long enough to be technically a TV film, but it is classified as a standalone episode. And it's based on the true story of Anthony Bryan and his experience with the Windrush scandal. Sitting in Limbo is actually written by Anthony Bryan's real life brother, Stephen Thompson. I was actually really unaware of a lot of everything to do with the Windrush scandal until recently. And this drama really did open my eyes to actually how horrible and inhumane and downright atrocious the whole situation has been. The show itself is gripping the whole way through. Like, you're on the edge of your seat because you genuinely don't know what's going to happen next, and it just keeps you like stressed, if anything. But that in a way gives the viewer only a like smidge of the stress and anxiety and like any of the feelings involved with what actually happened to like the people it happened to. Like the audience only experiences a little bit of that. Imagine like being in that situation. No, it's, the drama is really like heartbreaking, but it's so real and true, and it just is so well done, in my opinion. It's hard to explain my thoughts on the way it's filmed, but the way it is filmed, like with the camera angles and just generally how they place you, the viewer, in the situation, it makes you feel like you're there with them. Like, I know films are meant to make you feel like you're in the room and everything, but with this one, with the acting and the tension and the emotions going on in the scenes, you genuinely feel like you are there in the room with them, experiencing the emotions that they're experiencing. And it's quite amazing in that way, because for many people these stories are just that, they're just stories, they're not something that's happened to you. So there's a couple of standout scenes within this drama that have stuck with me quite a lot since watching it. So one of the first comes from, we just learned that Anthony has been identified as living in the UK illegally, and he's regularly having to check into like a government immigration office building to say that like he's still in the country, like he's still there. And all at the same time, he's having to scramble at home with his partner to try and find as much documentation as physically possible to prove that he's been in the UK as long as he claims. And when I put quotation marks around claims, I mean that throughout the drama, they show that everything they provide, it's just not good enough. And they say that it's not, they sort of put on that it's not real documentation. So for example, they say this statement from your alleged former head teacher. Like, they don't take what he's given as fact, and it's just, I can't wrap my head around it, because we find out Anthony has been in the UK, he moved here when he was 8, so he has to find like documentation of him being in primary school, in secondary school, in like college, sixth form, university, his bills. I don't know if he went to university, but that would be an example of documents, like his electricity bills, his water bills, like everything, and it's just insane. Like, everything he provides, he's just told, no, that's not enough, no, that's not enough. And you, with the drama, you actually see him and his partner grow as frustrated as the audience is feeling as well. Like, it is just, you feel what they feel because it is so frustrating to watch, let alone experience. The biggest scene in the drama that has stuck with me is when the police come to arrest Anthony. So the police actually rock up at his house in essentially the middle of the night. It's probably like 5, 6 a.m. But they rock up in the middle of the night and they arrest him for being an illegal immigrant. And it's honestly nuts because he's in his pajamas. They barely let him get dressed. And then they just take him away with no communication with his family whatsoever. And they've had no communication. They didn't know this was happening. Like, as far as they were aware, they'd given all of their proof that he was a citizen of the UK, to prove that he's been here for 50 years. But then the police are like, no, we've been told to arrest you. And it's just, you have no idea what's going on. And it's terrifying. It must have been terrifying for them. And like, it's just so messed up and unbelievable and honestly heart-wrenching. Like, he's genuinely being taken away in the middle of the night. Like, that feels like something out of a horror film. After that, we do actually see where Anthony is taken, and it's miles away. Literally like 300 miles away from where he lives, and he's not able to tell his family for ages, so they are completely unaware of where he could be. He could be on a plane to Jamaica for all they know, until eventually he does get given a phone so he can ring them and be like, okay, this is where I am. But what we see when we go to this place, I'm not sure what the name of it is, because it's not a prison, but I think it's a detention centre. I think that's what I'm going to go with. I could be wrong. But you see in there that it's actually a lot of people of colour from different walks of life, from different parts of the world, are in this detention centre. And I'm saying it's a detention centre because it is definitely not a prison. Like, they make it known it's not a prison, but it's essentially a prison. So it's a difficult one. But this is the thing that gets me. So Anthony is in this prison detention centre for quite a while. Like, it's a good while. But eventually he's let out. They're like, oh, like, you're good enough. We've discovered that you don't need to be deported or anything. But then after going back, okay, so he's gone back home. As far as he's aware, everything is all Gucci. Like, he has to still check in with the, like, government building people on the regular. But as far as he's aware, like, he's given enough evidence to, you know, potentially be given his citizenship. But then, the people who were meant to help him, so the people in the government building who were meant to help him, screw him over again. And then he's literally taken to a different detention centre that's a bit closer, but still taken again. And it's just, still with no communication from anyone who can give him anything. Like, he's just thrown left, right and centre without being told what is going on, what he can do to stop it, like what can he do to prove himself to be a citizen. And it's just completely a mess. Like, he genuinely is like, almost gets deported, as in, like, his family have to take it to court to stop his deportation, and they only get it like 2 days before the date that they've said he's going to be deported. That's nuts. Like, the ground is crumbling beneath his feet as he's living and existing. And I just, like, and even this court date, they're like, just by the way, this isn't actually a win. Like, he could still be deported, he's just not being deported this time. What gets me, not even just with this drama, with the whole situation, is that these people who were taken away from their homes in the UK stripped of their identity and what they believed was their citizenship, are literally giving everything they have to prove that no, I do in fact belong here, only to then be told that, like, that's not enough. This really did get me. This is really, like, seen in the scene where Anthony is first taken away by the police, because he's so confused. He's like, why am I being, like, what's going on? Why am I being arrested? And then he said, I've lived here for 50 years. That's longer than you've been alive. Like, that is all sorts of messed up. All kinds of screwed up. And it's just depicted so well in this drama that you would almost believe that it wasn't true, but it is. Like, this stuff actually happened. And in my opinion, what makes this retelling of the situation that bit more sophisticated is that it would be so easy to just have had all of the, like, bad guys in this situation portrayed by white people, but they don't. There's instances where, like, one of the arresting officers is a black person, or the person behind the in the reception of the government building where Anthony has to go is a black person. Like, within this, they show so much that it is about, like, actually the nationality of the person, not the colour of their skin, even though you can't really have one without the other. But in this, it is clear, like, this isn't just the racism, it's just the hatred of anyone looking for a better life. But also, for me, I genuinely can't wrap my head around how, in one instance, the government can invite people to move their lives here in Britain to work and have a better life and all this, that and the other. And then in the next, after having destroyed all of their documentation of arriving in the country, turning around and saying, no, actually, you don't belong here. Like, this drama really gave me an insight into something that really isn't talked about a lot. Like, not even a lot, it's just not talked about enough, full stop. Like, and it's not even, like, just the government failure that's not talked about, it's the whole history and background and everything to do with Windrush. Like, I really didn't know anything about it, like, the people arriving in Britain, the background of why they were asked to come to Britain, what they did when they came here. Like, I didn't know anything. I just knew that at some point people from Jamaica and the Caribbean and came and settled down. Like, no, like, it's sad to me that there are whole aspects of British history that just isn't talked about, isn't like taught to people, and like, there's areas that are just swept under the rug and, like, you act like it's nothing. And for me, these sorts of dramas are so important, and this one in particular is done so well. Like, I know there are probably things that were left out because the BBC does have a thing where they want the drama of it as well. So there was probably bits that were, like, a bit fleshed out and bits that were taken away. But the main point of the story is still true, and it's told so well and so educationally that this drama is a really good watch. Like, I would tell people to watch it every day of the week. So that's been my thoughts, feelings, vibes, opinions on everything to do with the BBC drama Sitting in Limbo. As far as I'm aware, it's on iPlayer for the next 10 months, I believe. It was originally aired at the start of June, so it should be on for a good while. and I definitely recommend just sitting down and watching it. Like, you will learn so much from it. I know I did, and I think especially because I really enjoy dramas that are like based on true events, because I like learning. Each their own though. So I still don't really think that my ratings work for TV shows, and that's technically what Sitting in Limbo is. Although while I do highly recommend watching it, I am also going to give it some like extras, just because it does fit with some, like, with them. So I'm going to give it quality content, because it is quality content. Like, from start to finish, you're gripped, you're learning, it's good, it's amazing. On top of that, I'm giving it just wow, because I don't have the words to express it, but it's so well made, it's so well acted, it's so well written, it's just everything. And then I've also made a new one for this, because it has given me an insight that I've never seen, like, that I hadn't really had before. So I'm making a new award called Eyes Wide Open, just because it has opened my eyes and it's educated me, and I enjoyed watching it and learning about things from it. And it's one of those things that makes you want to look more into it, so you're more informed. Yeah, so Eyes Wide Open. Cool. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have watched this already, let me know. If you plan on watching it, let me know as well. Tell me your thoughts on it. And yeah, happy watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Anthony has been very blue, very blue. I'll give you that one.